Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show where a man completely immersed in anime culture torments his co-host, who is only allowed to watch the shows featured here. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/animeoutofcontext. Alongside over 100 hours of exclusive bonus material, all episodes uploaded to Patreon are completely ad-free, even to non-patrons. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I shill the Patreon.
I'm Sean Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase, and guys, I gotta let y'all know that 'tis the season. Next week is day 1 of the 12 days of April Fools. If you love April Fools episodes, ladies and gentlemen, if you love all the hijinks that ensue, then you should head over to our Patreon, where starting next week, we're gonna do the 12 days. And so for the first day, of course, that's gonna be open for everybody. But the next 11 days, 11 full bonus April Fool's episodes, and this year it's wild. It's wild every year. We already have dozens of April Fool's episodes on the Patreon that you'll also have access to, and we're just adding nearly a dozen more, just like that. It's a wild April Fool's season, isn't it, Sean?
Wild is an accurate descriptor.
We're, as always, we're doing things we've never done before. I'm fucking with the format in ways never before seen. And this year, very specially, Sean even has a reverse Uno, so that every episode you can wonder, is he gonna use it now? Is he gonna use it now?
He really should have used it now.
It'll be a great little adventure. So I strongly encourage, in the next week or so, head over to the Patreon and then get super hyped for all of that extra content.
Yeah, and you know it's special because Remington rarely shills anything.
I rarely shill, but man, it's a great deal. It's a great bargain. We've been working all year for these extra episodes. They're great. There's some really good stuff. There's some really good stuff and also some trash, but some really good stuff.
And who knows, maybe with enough patrons this year, we'll be able to finally get Remington at least a day's worth of health insurance in the United States.
There we go. All right, so Sean, that's super exciting and great. Next week, is this week going to be able to compete with next week's episode?
Probably not. not like to disparage the anime or anything, but like fans of our show are going to be more excited for next week. Like, basically, I was prepared for this week to just be a placeholder for a lot of folks.
Oh, perfect. That's what we want. We want a good old placeholder episode to really build up it.
But to kind of counteract that, I decided to do a very heavily requested show.
Okay, all right. Let's do this.
Hey, Rem, it sounds like you don't trust our audience.
Look, I'm the voice of the people. Obviously, I trust them. Sometimes I'm better at communicating what they want than they are, is the thing.
Where have I heard that before?
And sometimes they think they want certain shows and things, and they think they want me to suffer, but they're wrong. They don't. Sometimes they don't actually want those things.
So if you are in an abusive relationship, please reach out to your friends, your family, whoever's around you. They can help. Trust me.
Oh, man.
But, Remington, today, my job's pretty fucking easy. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, part of the reason we haven't covered it is because it's such a straightforward show that, like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? What kind of clever bit or ruse can I put around this show?
If it's last week, we also had a very straightforward show.
Correct. This one,
an insanely straightforward show.
One might say too straightforward.
Some might say that it was a short form anime masquerading as a full length.
And in fact, you might also say that the most complex thing about it was trying to fucking find it.
So maybe I'm okay with a little bit more complexity this week, just a little bit.
Okay, well, hey. No hamsters. Oh, God. But no, Rem, today we're going to be watching a slice of life comedy anime simply titled Danchi ko Kosei no Nichijo.
Yeah.
Any guesses on what that means, Rem?
I mean, obviously I know, but if you could clarify for the people.
I mean, surely, Rem, you could get some of it because, like, we've recovered an anime with the word Nichijou in the title before.
We covered Nichijou.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, as we all know, translates approximately to Nichijou.
I mean, yeah, if you're translating from Japanese to Japanese, that is correct.
See, there we go.
Hey.
There we go.
Look, man, that's just the way these things go. But no, Rem, the English translation is simply the daily lives of high school boys. I know what the title sounds like, Rem. I know what the title sounds like.
I don't... Sean?
Yeah, hey, Rem.
I feel like that's the title of something that puts me on a watch list.
You know, Rem, I don't disagree.
Like, I'm gonna search that up in Google, and then a face is just gonna pop up and, like, raise its eyebrow at me, and it's gonna be like, pardon? What the fuck you just say? What are you looking for?
No, see, Rem, if you put anime after that, that'll just make it worse.
I cannot emphasize how much my, like, browsing history is just fucked, because I don't have a separate account for anime shit. It's all just on my main Google account. And so, man, the amount of weeby advertisements I get is so unfortunate.
Yeah. Welcome to my world, Rem.
Yeah, but I don't want that. They're accurate for you.
Most of the time they're not, Rem. Most of the time they're weird, like, hentai games that keep getting advertised.
Perfect for you. Meanwhile, I'm not the demographic.
Oh, God.
When they're like, hey, 2D waifus in your area, that's Sean Rollins. You are the demo. Me, I ain't the demo.
Oh, God. But, Rem, like, what is this show? It is not what the title insinuates, but it also is, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It is a slice of life comedy show about our three main protagonists, Tarakuni, Yoshitake, and Hidenori. And they are they're best buds. They're good friends. And it's just a gag comedy show about these three getting into shenanigans and having overactive imaginations. And people have caught this as a incredibly funny anime, and they've wanted you to react to it for a long time because they feel like you're a comedy expert and they want you to judge their favorite comedy series.
All right, first of all, let's not go so far. There's only so much comedic value that yelling out "big hole" really has. But
I mean, hey, I'll tell you right now, kind of matches the vibe of this show a little bit.
But then second of all, it's always high risk when, you know, people you care about and who care about you are like, hey, I want to show you something. It's really funny. And then you watch it and then you pray that you're going to laugh, because if you don't.
I mean, it's why whenever I see something funny and I want to send it to people, I don't do it in person.
Yes.
So they can write lol and I can believe them.
Of course, Sean is lying. He's shown me many things in person. Sean is pretending to be a more down-to-earth person. No, he shows me shit all the time in person.
Look, man, that Yu-Gi-Oh scene is fucking funny. I don't care what you say. And folks know which one.
Fuck.
Sure, it looks like he's murdering a child, but that's fine.
Oh, God. All right, so it's funny, slice of life, nonsense.
Yeah.
Is there anything...
That's pretty straightforward, Rem. Like, it's very much like it's them fucking around as high school boys are known to do, in like the time wasting silly sense, not in the scandalous sense, of course. And it's just like
they save that for the OVA.
Christ Almighty. And it's just them and their interactions and some gags, and people love this anime.
Did you guys notice how, you know, I made a joke based on my understanding of anime culture that I've learned through this podcast, and Sean just dismisses it out of hand. Sean he doesn't even care that I'm learning, that I'm developing.
Okay, Mr. Smart Guy. Tell me some other things about anime culture that you've learned.
Really, it's just that the OVAs can be hornier. That's really that's the big thing. And there's a lot of Hamtaro video games. Those are the two things I've learned. Let's go watch the anime.
Oh, God, what a fucking disaster. All right, without further ado, let's go watch some Daily Lives of High School Boys.
Hey, Anime Out of Context fans. It's the start of the Christmas season, and this time, we're encouraging Rem to watch some anime for the birds. The series we'll be asking Rem to watch is A Certain Scientific Railgun Season 2, up to Episode 6. Help us convince Rem and Sean into doing this anime by changing your Patreon name to end in Says Misaka for the Christmas episode in December, which will be dropping on December 19th for patron members and December 21st for everyone else. Every patron name changed to mention Says Misaka will result in friend of the show Farmer Weeb donating $5 to the Tracy Aviary. And this year's bonus challenge is a wrestling knowledge quiz for Remington. Farmer Weeb will double his donation to $10 per patron name change if Remington correctly gets 10 answers right in a row. Does Remington know wrestling, or will he disappoint the birds in charitable donations? We'll find out.
And we are back after watching 3 whole episodes of the comedy slice of life anime, Daily Lives of High School Boys. And Remington, did you have a chuckle? Did you have a guffaw? Or is this that special brand of weeb humor that you just still don't understand?
This was a wild ride. This was a journey.
Okay.
Like a little bit slice of life, but really just comedy gag anime hardcore.
100%, yeah.
And they go all in, and specifically, it has its niche. All right.
Yes.
Because a lot of like gag anime, they'll either have a premise or something that they're satirizing or lean into absurdity. But this one, primarily, it's in the subgenre of guys being dudes.
Correct, yes.
Just a bunch of guys being dudes doing stuff.
And dudes being guys, you know? Traditional stuff.
Yeah, and those vibes are off the charts. Cause how do I even go about describing it? All right, in the opening moments, we see one of our protagonists. Oh no, they're late for school. They got some toast in their mouth. We've seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
As they're running to get to school, one of their friends joins them. Their friend, similar scenario, they're running late too. They're also rushing to eat their breakfast on the go, except their breakfast is just an entire plate of leftover curry.
Yep.
And the third friend in the same boat, but with ramen.
Yep.
And so already some goofs and gaffs are had. And then an orbital laser strikes down into the city and a bunch of Gundams attack. And the Gundams shoot them, unveiling an adventure log that could isekai them or some shit. And then they discuss, hey, maybe that's a bit too much for this anime. Maybe that's a little too chaotic. I don't think that's like the story. That ain't the vibe. We're not doing that. So that's the opening. That's the intro. That's how we get introduced to everything. And then...
Would it surprise you if I told you that the studio that did this is the Gundam studio?
It would not surprise me at all, because it's not like... Let me put it this way. It's not like, oh, hey, some mechs. No, it's, hey, look, those are Gundams.
Yes.
It's not... It's not random mechs. They are very specifically Gundams.
Correct, yeah.
And so then the guys, as they're hanging out, one of them, is struggling with girls, wonders if he'll ever get a girlfriend. And so this leads to all of them role-playing with one another, and as if it were a dating sim to try to teach their friend how to successfully get a girlfriend. And he gets a game over, has to retry. Just him and his friends just fucking around, right?
Yeah.
Then that ends up finishing up. The next bit, they're chatting about skirts, and then decide to steal one of their sister's skirts, and then also panties, and then they wear them. And one of them starts getting like kind of into it and just like posing as the sister walks in, and they're like, "Oh no, I'm embarrassed," and the sister's like, "No, keep going." Which, hey, self-discovery comes in a lot of forms. Probably don't steal other people's undergarments, but I'm proud of your self-discovery.
Yeah.
It's and that will not be the first time. It's not an isolated incident.
No. It's yeah. Look, when you're a high school boy, you gotta explore a lot of aspects about your personality and your lifestyle.
And here we just have a few protagonists who have decided, like, you know what? I'm into it. I enjoy it. It's worthwhile for me. Is it because of a gender thing, a sexual thing? Who knows? It doesn't go that deep.
We haven't gotten that far yet, That's going to take a few more. That's going to take a few more incidents of practice.
They've learned something about themselves, but it's now to discover what they've discovered. It's wild. There's a sunset romance cringe scene where the wind is blowing and it's a beautiful sunset, and a girl comes over and sits by one of the guys, and he's like, "Oh fuck, oh shit, this is some stuff out of like a romance story. Okay. Do I say anything? I'm not suave. I don't know what the fuck to say. Okay, what if I say, okay, just don't be cringe. And then he's like, he talks about how the wind gusting hard and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh my God, I was cringe right there. Fuck. Yeah. And then she meets his cringe with more cringe.
Yes.
As they start speaking of the wind back and forth. And basically that girl wrote a romance novel about a couple meeting at sunset and the guy can control wind or some shit. I don't know, dude. Look, lovely listeners, if you're expecting a cohesive, coherent plot line, or even really, like, in-depth characters, I vaguely understand all the characters. But look, we're here. It's there for the gags. That's what exists. All right, the gags. And unfortunately, me showing up and being like, "Oh, and an orbital laser shoots," like that's not gonna land the same. It's just we have this difficulty anytime we have a successful comedy, because when we have an unsuccessful comedy, I can tear it apart and list all the reasons it doesn't work. All right.
So you're upset that this did a good job.
Oh, I'm not upset. Like, thank goodness it was an enjoyable watch. It amused me. But it's one of those weird things where good gag anime comedies, I worry that they're shit episodes of the podcast, because it's like I can't just regurgitate the bits. You won't understand. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't add up. I can give a few like bits and pieces that'll be a little bit valuable or interesting. But the vast majority, I just need to be like, go check it out. It's good. And that's rough. That's difficult. It puts me in a hard position, Sean.
I mean, especially considering that one of the things we recently recorded was an incredibly long bonus episode that folks will be getting this month.
It's true. Hey, everybody.
And it was a very in-depth, very well thought out bonus episode that you and I both had so many things to say. It's almost like I needed a show to make to counterbalance that a little bit and get people excited for what's coming later this month. And also people, like, genuinely, this is one of the most requested gag comedy shows we've gotten ever since doing the podcast.
And it is, in fact, a good one. It is a very solid gag anime. One thing I enjoy, so there's lots of just, as guys being dudes, fucking around and just, like, role-playing, right?
Yeah.
Just imagining certain things and banter and all that fun stuff. And what I appreciate, while I am a fan of when you get those moments in anime and we see these like fully realized worlds and then cut to what's actually going on, and that's always fun. And we get like tiny bits and pieces of that. What we more often get is they'll be like pantomiming holding something or reading something, and then we'll get a shot of their hand holding nothing at all, but we'll just get a shot of that for the duration of them reading it as if we're looking at a letter. And I love that they made those choices.
Yeah.
basically to treat the camera as if it were in on the joke, and that makes it more entertaining for me. I also like there's already been quite a few good old melodramatic nothing moments, right?
Yep.
Where it's the Death Note potato chip eating scene, but just reduce the stakes to zero.
Yes.
Reduce the stakes to zero, but keep that level of melodrama. And that's great, and they use that to great effect. They also have strange post-credit-ish scenes
Yes.
where they focus more on the feminine side of things, you see.
I mean, like being a butler, for example.
Yeah, well, yeah, they had a daily life of princess in episode 2, and then they had a daily life of high school girls in episode 3, where they acknowledged that in anime, high school girls can just do anything and people will be entertained and watch, because the weebs see a cute anime girl and they're like, all right, here's my life savings, regardless of any other factor.
I mean, look, man, if any studio knows their audience, it's probably Studio Sunrise, the guys who make fucking Gundam.
yeah. So it's just it's a nice wild ride, but it's not anything deep. It's nothing crazy.
So you're saying I fucked you?
Well, yeah, look at the length of the episode so far, Sean.
Ooh, yeah, no, we're barely crossing the 10-minute mark in the part 2. Ooh, man.
I've run out of things to talk about.
I should have made you watch more episodes. That probably would have helped, huh?
It would have added a couple minutes, I suppose. Look, it's a good anime, and it does a lot of fun, clever things. But there's just not much point in me regurgitating. All right, so here is the little 2-minute vignette where this is the joke. That's followed up by this 2-minute vignette where this is the joke. That's crazy. That's what a crazy person does.
Or somebody who hasn't really made a podcast before.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so I want to respect our audience's time. I guess the way of doing that is providing a little chode of an episode.
Please don't refer to our episodes as a chode.
Not all of them, Sean, but this one is.
Hey, Rem. Hey, look, we don't have to bear it all for the audience, Rem. We can keep some things a little under wrap, a little behind closed doors. Because, Rem, think about it this way. We could just frame it as, man, were we super fucking busy making an incredible set of 12, seasonal episodes for the year. And that took up so much time that the real episode is just really a great simple prelude. We don't need to be like, man, this is going to be a real stinker ass of an episode. We can obfuscate a little bit, we can bargain a little bit. We can
No, here's what we do, Sean. Here's what we do, all right?
Okay. All right, Rob. What's up?
We're gonna steal a little pre-banter and bring it into the episode. Guys being dudes, they're role-playing a lot. We're gonna improv, all right? Let's do some improv.
Rem, we cannot do that.
We're guys being dudes.
Rem, people give us $2 for that improv, and it is not worth the $2. That is the one part of our Patreon that is not worth it.
Our guys being we're charming. We're charming adult men. Daily lives of adult podcasters.
Oh, God, nobody wants to see that, Rem. It's too sad. It's amazing one of us is in a very healthy, committed relationship at this point at all.
All right, Sean, our location. I have a random generator here. It's an iceberg. We're on an iceberg.
Oh, it feels like it. Feels like we're fucking sinking, dog. It feels like we're going deeper and deeper into the abyss. I just thought, fun little comedy gag anime. This'll be a nice prelude to the severe torture that I'm about to go through for the rest of the month. That seems fair and appropriate. What could possibly go wrong with an episode like that? And then out of nowhere, you decide to bring one of our worst pre-banter ideas into the public.
We're on an iceberg. You are an evil genius, spelled with an O for some reason. There's just a fun
I'm
little
an evil genos?
No, it has an I and a U, but it also has an O.
A genios?
Yeah, genius. Genius.
Putting my whole geniusi into this.
Meanwhile, I am an ambassador. All right. The way we know each other, we're from the same frat. we're at the same frat. And let's see. It's got a few weird ones. Let's see which word. Should I click on action, habit, instructions, or abstract?
You should click the close window button.
Nope, it wasn't one of the options I gave you, you son of a bitch.
Well, hey, that's the thing about improv. You got to say yes and to things, and I'm saying we should absolutely not do this.
Actions, habits, instructions, or abstract. We gotta be guys being dudes. Now choose.
Rem, I hate to tell this to you, but I think our podcast is just a couple of guys being dudes most of the time. It just so happens that they're talking about anime most of the time, so we have a little bit more structure.
All right, so which one do you choose, though?
If I had to choose one of them, because of the absurdist nature of this conversation in and of itself, I'd probably choose the absurd one.
It's not absurd, it's abstract.
Oh, excuse me. Same difference.
The abstract concept that we're bringing into this is taxation. The very funny concept of taxation. So, to summarize, we're on an iceberg. You are an evil genius. I am an ambassador. And well, we know each other from we were in the same frat. And so it has something to do with taxation.
You know,
the story writes itself, Sean.
Oh, God. You're making me laugh into a coughing fit. Stop it. People are going to think I'm getting sick again, and I don't want that. I really don't want that.
All right, Sean, you ready? All right.
No, Rem, no. Here's what's going to happen, Rem. Here's what's going to happen.
We're going to be guys being dudes, and everyone's going to think we're super funny and hilarious. All right.
Dylan's going to cut the episode right here, and it's going to be like he cut out the entire bit because it was awful, and we will probably have agreed with him.
It's going to be a good bit. He's not going to cut it out. In fact, he's going to make it the whole episode. All right.
No, he is not. He is absolutely not. People have been waiting for this episode. They have to understand it's short.
3, 2, 1, and scene.
I'm gonna be honest, that was absolutely terrible, so I'm not gonna subject y'all to that.
See, Sean, that went all right.
So this is how we announce the end of the podcast.
So long story short, guys being dudes, it's a good time.
Go watch the show if you want to laugh. It's stupid, it's fun, it's silly.
It's worthwhile. It's a good one. It's a solid... Look, comedy is probably, like, the genre with the worst success rate for anime, in my opinion, mostly because they rarely give a shit about comedy. They're just kind of pretending to be comedy. But when something gives a shit about being comedy and puts the effort and thought into it, like this, hey, look, it can be good.
Any guesses on what the mouse score for Daily Lives of High School Boys is, Rem?
Oh, man. Okay, it's highly recommended. It's high quality. I'm gonna say it's... but sometimes the weebs get weird about little silly anime like this. But it's not short form. It feels short form, but it's a bunch of short form attached onto each other. So
yeah, it's a bunch of very good vignettes woven together to be a
let me put it
episode.
this way. If for some reason this were just short form, right? Same exact content.
Oh, it's been a while since we've had one of those.
Same exact content, but instead of compiling all the vignettes into an episode, you just released them separately, which you totally could. Then I think the weebs would rate it like a 6.98. But because they're full-length episodes, I think that's completely irrelevant. And I actually think, I think this might be, with the quality and just the guys being dudes, it might be an 8. Might be around an 8. And then knowing that it's been highly recommended, right? Possibly a lot of times where it's been recommended has been in contrast to the bad comedies or as a chaser for the good comedies. So I'm gonna bump that up a little further. We'll say 8.14.
Is that your final answer?
8.13.
Okay, that's your final answer. Well, Reb, Danshi Kosei no Nichijo, or Daily Lives of High School Boys, has a whopping 424,000 ratings.
Whew, for an anime like this, that's crazy.
I mean, it came out in 2012, so it's had the time, and it's highly
came out in
recommended.
the dark times?
Yes.
What the hell?
I mean, look, man, there's always diamonds in the rough, you know? But, yeah, with those massive amount of ratings, Daily Lives of High School Boys is sitting nice and pretty at 8.23.
Holy shit. I thought I was overshooting it, if anything. But
No, people fucking love this show. Most people who have bad things to say about the show, I'm just gonna say it, I just don't think they don't understand the point of comedy or gag anime. Like I saw one reviewer was like, the story for this show is a 4 out of 10. And I'm like,
I mean, you know what? If anything, I think that's generous.
or some people are like, man, this was a boring show. And I'm like, was it?
You know, hey, comedy is subjective. So if it ain't your style, I understand that. But I it's high energy, it's thoughtful and creative. I think that it's definitely my kind of comedy in a lot of ways.
You're kind of really stupid, absurdist humor.
Yeah, but it's not just like it in a lot of ways it's like smart stupid, which I can appreciate.
Yeah. And like, you know, as a man who has donned women clothings on countless occasions, like it resonated with you.
Yeah, exactly.
And the best part about that is that's not a joke. Look, high school was an interesting time for the both of us.
But not my sisters. I don't have a sister, so it's fine.
I don't have a sister. Yeah, and my sister was moved out by the time like that was even a possibility, so.
But she did leave her entire wardrobe.
Definitely not. I've never actually lived with my sister growing up. The joy of step siblings. Am I right? At any rate, oh god, it's gonna be a short one, but Dylan will be grateful to us because he has so much fucking editing to do right now.
It's true. As a reminder, hey people, next week the 12 days begins. Get super excited for it. It's gonna be fantastic. The first episode of the 12 days, it's gonna be open to the public, but for all the rest of the days, all the rest of them, then you're gonna need to go to the Patreon, $5 and above. That'll get you so many episodes. At this point, with this year combined with the 2 previous, that's over 30 bonus April Fool's episodes. It's fantastic. Go do it. It's worth it.
I mean, it's quite literally hours of content, guys, for $5. Like,
oh yeah.
And plus, the support means a lot to us, and it means we can actually do this more frequently.
Hell yeah, brother.
Like, I actually took time off of work to record some of these because I was like, it's important. And also, you'll understand why I had to take time off to record some of these. You'll understand. Both for logistic reasons and mental health reasons.
Yes, very much both.
But that's okay. So I guess, Rem, the final question I need to ask you, is there any chance you'd want to watch a bit more of Daily Lives of High School Boys with me?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Fantastic. I'm glad we could do that, and man, oh man, next week is gonna be a ride, let me tell you. My stomach, probably hasn't recovered by that point, but that's okay.
It's gonna be a fantastic time, and I'm sure that me, you, and all of our lovely listeners will have a blast.
So with that in mind, thank you all so much for tuning in. If you enjoy Rem being absolutely flabbergasted by the nature of a good comedy, so much so that it derails the podcast in a, quite frankly, unfortunate way, then please head on over to wherever you get your podcasts and leave a review. They mean the world to us, and we do read every single one. And if that is not enough for you, twitch.tv/anime-out-of-context, where myself, Dylan, and Remington occasionally play video games very poorly. And if that is still not enough for you, patreon.com/anime-out-of-context. We've shielded a lot this time, but trust me, it's worth it. You'll gain access to all kinds of lovely bonus material, including having the opportunity to be thanked live on the podcast. So, Rem, who are we thinking this week?
As always, we would like to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. But moving on, we get to our yandere waifus, who, they're just being girls, and thus stealing our clothes, maybe murdering us in our sleep, #JustGirls things. And on that list we have 010, Yokeling Hokel, Yandere Neko, Wonka Domain Expansion Inflation Porn, Wolfire 56. Where's our DBC review, you ginger fuck? When's the Bible out of context on Lot and his daughters? Wes Kane. Welcome to Anime in Full and Complete Context, the show where we're skipping season 1 to meet the sisters, says Misaka. Watching Requiem for Spoonman at 0.5 speed. Waffles not included. Totally good. Titan CNH. The weather outside is rizzy, but the fire is so skibbity. But since I've got to go, Ohio, Ohio, Ohio.
Yeah, still don't like that.
The Susanator, the Spoonman's Thousand Island Stare, the Flying Spaghetti Monster, the Danes Viking will conquer the world with Renoir Zoro as my navigator. The Capybara says, Daddy Sean, you nasty dog, slap my little rodent behind.
I'm gonna kill myself.
The bird's name is Cat, Misaka says, bemused at her own joke. The smut has no place in fairy tales, 100 girlfriends. Turban, Super Zoo, Stacy's mom. Sean wants to give Spoonman a thankin' yank. Sean show him Vox Machina, you coward. Sean show Rem Kaguya-sama dubbed in My Life Is Yours. Sean smack my ass and call me a stolfo. Sean ruined my happy sugar life when he fucked birds and fucked bad, says Misaka. Sean, my banana is safe, but everyone at school has seen me naked. Sean can do these nuts. Sean calls the Shonen Flop guys the Shonen Hard guys, if you know what I mean. Seraphim the Shark plushie, Ross Palmer, Rhiannon Williams. Remington uses the deer crackers of liberation. Remington munting Shawnee's grandma in Ohio. Remington is right. Rem uses the drums of liberation. Free all weeps from Bad Anime. Rem hit rock bottom is still on top of Sean. Rem doesn't completely hate my favorite shows. Raptor King in the birds eating good, says Misaka. Pro tips out of context, the belt with the poison to the flagon with the dragon, the vessel with the pestle is the brew that is true. Professor Fox, Problem Child, Pacuel Musico. My favorite dinosaur is a Triceratops. Macaroni and Cheeseha. Lucky Stars, the King of Moe. Link Joe Curl. Lenerd 98. Landon Hughes. Cassidy. Joining for Chuckle Fuckmas, says Misaka. Jax. Jam Hands. Jake Dent. I'm the original guy that made you say cunt every week. That other guy's just a pretender. I will never get more Ace of the Diamond, now I cry. I will be on episode 341. I like Turtle, says Misaka. I've heard what is happening. It looks like it is finally my turn, says Misaka, appearing with superb timing. I can't believe I'm in to count for this. How would Rem feel about the Flowers of Evil, Johnny boy? Sorry for the mix-up. I'm curious what you two think about it. Glenn Michael Dolan? Fern the guy learning three-finger fun time. Farmer Weep wants Rem to do it for the bird, says Misaka. Fantide, Erica McCorkle. Don't shock the hamster, says Misaka. Diana Madrid, Danielle Riot. Daddy Sean, may I have your wallet for charity, asks Misaka. Daddy Rem, tell me a bedtime story.
Lots of daddies today, huh?
Yes, oh, so many daddies and so many Misakas. Cut myself and scream for their insan I thank you. Oh wait, no, insan, okay. Cut myself and scream for their insan Cheese Monkey. Cat girls are best girls, so give me them cute little paws. Brockhard for Jew dudes. He fucked my wife, so guess what? I'm gonna fuck the earth. Boring Siren. Blake Star. Blackout drunk before butt stuff, says Misaka. Bitter Dolce. Bento Kato. Audio glitch. Angel, says Misaka. And every day that raven comes to visit. AJ Tunnels. Aisha Gudgy. A Moe piece of trash. And now we move on to the Boy Wizard tier. What are they gonna get this week, Sean?
Man, if you thought you had a hard time. God. Let's give them...
I shit you not, there was over a minute of dead air while Sean figured out what the hell he was going to do, so, I'm gonna cut that out.
Look, I could just quite simply give people, their very own absurd comedy movies as according to the, I'm sure, incredibly reputable site, flickchart.com?
Ah, perfect. I always love to flick Sean's chart.
I beg your pardon?
All right, and on this list we have, whoops, I forgot to change my username for a month, and I called Sean a cuck for a month.
They get 1975's Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Weak some shit asking for Darling in the Franks.
1933's Duck Soup.
Want the Anime Con Pod handle? Show Rem 2 specific anime followers growing. Oh.
1980's Airplane.
Umbrasite.
1979's Life of Brian.
That Mouse Girl.
1980's The Blues Brothers.
Spoonman the Aristocrat.
1935's A Night at the Opera.
Spooky, scary Sammy K sees you shiver with anticipation.
1987's Spaceballs.
Spiritually, I'm the feel-good ink laugh, says Misaka.
1930's Animal Crackers.
Silent Secondary.
You know, there's a lot of Marx Brothers on here.
But not enough marks, if you know what I mean.
Well,
the greatest comedian of his time.
Okay, here's one that I wasn't expecting, but hey, it can't be wrong. It's on flickchart.com. 1964's A Hard Day's Night. As in, yeah, the Beatles movie that stars the Beatles.
Sean thinks humanity has declined, maybe better suited to my taste, and will show me that anime next week.
1978's Animal House.
Scourge, best 20 bucks spent, LMAO.
Oh, sorry about this. 2009's The Hangover.
Roscoe.
1992's Wayne's World.
Rem needs to watch Humanity Has Declined, if not just for the loaf of bread committing suicide.
1979's The Jerk.
Rare Kumiko has decided to shill the anime Humanity Has Declined instead of the Monogatari series.
1983's Monty Python's The Meaning of Life.
Monogatari is everything you said you like in an anime. This week it is stylish, interesting, weird shit from Studio Shaft.
See, now this one I definitely would call absurdist. 1998's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Mike.
1983's National Lampoon's Vacation.
Miguel DeLeon.
1991's Delicatessen.
Maybe Sean will show Rem Humanity Has Declined instead of the Monogatari series, Chicken Corpses and Ave Maria.
I guess this could be considered absurdist comedy. I don't know. I haven't seen it. 1999's South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
I mean, it's South Park.
Yeah.
Kira quickly moves in to defuse the situation.
Oh, sorry about this. 1997's Austin Powers International Man of Mystery.
It's your boy, Skinny Penis.
1994's Dumb and Dumber. There you go.
I'm a regulation listener that used to listen to Face Jam, but now listen to 100% Eat Rare Kumiko.
1931's Monkey Business.
Hopping on the Monogatari train, because why not?
1988's The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad.
Hi, Sean. Still waiting for the first 5 episodes of Zoid's New Century.
1981's History of the World Part 1.
Crimson Reapers, just because of the scythes.
2002's Punch Drunk Love.
Carver 271.
1969's Take the Money and Run.
Butler Rat saw Misaka once. Butler Rat saw Misaka, should be says Misaka. Wants Railgun Season 2 for the birds. There we go, I understand you. But also Animates, Mazinga Z, please, I'm begging you. Oh, they're double, they're commuting to both channels at the same time.
They're trying to make sure their agenda is going across all of their favorite podcasts. You know?
That's efficiency, all right?
That is efficiency. That you got to admire the gusto, because it's got to be said, I don't know of any other content that like their Patreon specifically uses it to try to get their agenda across. Like, but hey, they can have the 1971 film Bananas.
Blood Cell thinking about changing his name to Power Cell, but is worried about the mitochondria joke, says Misaka.
You get 1984's Top Secret.
Beethoven 1201.
1971's, and now for something completely different.
Anime Match of the Week, Mrs. Vampire is my roommate.
2015's The Lobster.
Animated Z.
1965's Help, which is also starring the Beatles.
Also, you get The Big Hole.
2004's Napoleon Dynamite.
Allfather is helping Farmer Weeb support the bird, says Miska, changing Allfather's Patreon name for an entire month.
1999's Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
And now we move on to the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where Sean is gonna ask Joey Wheeler, tell you what dude stuff you're doing. And I'm gonna add a weird twist to it.
Dude stuff, specifically.
Yeah, dude stuff. We start with Rowdy-O.
All right, so the dude stuff you're going to be doing is getting some of your best bros together, right? Sitting down in a hot tub and talking about your insecurities and feelings.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The hot tub is also a time machine.
Rem, you can't just rip off shitty movie plots.
Pun? No, that's an original straight from the dome. Next up, we got, hey, Gingerbread Stallion, when are you gonna take me out back to the Frito truck for some hard rockin', don't come knockin' love?
What? Okay, sure, yeah. The manly guy stuff you're going to do is, supporting your local tabletop gaming store by visiting and, supporting small businesses. That's the kind of just guy being dude stuff that we need more of.
And you are going to be playing a game of Catan where people are the pieces. And so it's going to take up the entire space of the gaming store, and everybody who comes in, they come in, boom, there's gonna be another piece or a resource. You're like, here's all the sheep, and they're dressed in the wool sweaters. The bricks, which are probably just put in cardboard boxes. It's gonna be a great time. It'll be a great time. Next up, we got Darksworm713, says Misaka.
Their manly man guys being dudes activity is gonna be the classic. It's gonna be the classic. Going into the woods, finding the best stick, and then having a lightsaber battle.
But that stick was taken from an eldritch horror who thought he was gonna eat you guys, but then, after seeing your super dope lightsaber battle, just wants to join in. Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to reach out for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, you can tweet us at AnimeConPod on Twitter, or send an email over on to animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We love and appreciate you very, very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister.
Do 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 do.